So this is the second part of my digital finds for March, April and the beginning of May. The first one I want to do on this one is a French band called Femme, and it's called Paradigmes. It's very electronic, a bit of acid jazz, very abstract, and I liked it. Some romantic pop ballads are thrown in. It's also got a little bit of sort of French country. The French accent I found gorgeous. They do a track, Sweet Georgia Brown, and it's very groovy with some nice brass and tambourine, and it's cool. Techno rock, 80s style with zany synths. They're pretty competent at that. And they also, there's a track called Nouvelle Orleans, which has some sort of Swiss French feminine vocals, which swing nicely with the bubblegum pop. And it's probably an album that will grow on me as well. They also not take a nod to the New Order type rhythmic sort of new wave sound. So if you're into that sort of stuff, check them out. Paradigmes by the French band Femme. Next up is an album by Daniel Lanois called Heavy Sun. Now Daniel, many of you will know, Daniel is a producer of music and has put his fingerprints on such greats as U2, the Rolling Stones, and he is very highly regarded. He also does make his own music, and this is his latest offering. He's got an organist, Johnny Shepherd, in this recording, who happens to be a Baptist church minister and choir leader. So it comes as no surprises to say that this is very much gospel-driven rock music. The organ is the main instrument throughout. It's got a very New Orleans sound to it. The spacey electronic guitars mixed in as well. The harmony vocals are very Neville Brothers like. There's also some Latin touches thrown in. It's a beautifully produced album, and it's got a rousing soul feel, particularly with the church organ soloing. And there's also a bit of salsa and funk thrown in. And one track, Tumbling Stone, had a sort of doo-wop feel to me. I've only listened to it twice. Most of these new releases have get 2 listens. And I think it's going to become an album that I'm going to really like. But it takes a little bit of getting used to. So that's Heavy Sun by Daniel Lanois. Is Riley Walker, Course in Fable. Now, I have to confess, I've only heard this once, and I was pretty impressed by it. It's alt rock, really, indie rock, but he's a very talented guitar player, and it is guitar orientated, but he's complex in the way he presents his guitar. And so if you're like that, you'll enjoy that, his album. He's released quite a few albums. It's the first one I've heard. Following on from that is Fire It Up. And this is by legendary guitar player, producer, you name it, Steve Cropper. Now, Steve Cropper, for any music historians, will know was around in the early 60s playing on playing with artists such as Booker T and the MGs and Otis Redding. So his pedigree is to say the least, epic. And his albums, he's released a few, but this is the first I've heard. This is a new one. He's now coming up to 80 years of age, 80 in October. But it's a mixture of funk, soul, rhythm and blues. And I've listened to it twice, and it's really foot-tapping stuff. There's lots of great horns on here. The R&B beat is hypnotic. It's funky. It's got a Southside Johnny type of feel on a few tracks, and it's got those gospel horns that flit in and out, and it's a highly competent piece of music, well produced. Steve Cropper, fire it up. So I suggest you give that a little listen. And the next one I want to comment on is, and it's coming up in a second. So next up then, 11 Past the Hour by Imelda May. Imelda's 46 years of age. She's an Irish singer-songwriter, a multi-instrumentalist. She's been around for a while. I saw her singing with Jet Beck, and she's also become, well, over the years, has been mentioned in dispatches by Bono from U2. I'm trying to look at my notes here. She's primarily a singer, but she also plays guitar and bodrain, whatever that is. And her unique vocal talents is what she brings to the table. Rockabilly is her speciality, but she's also got sort of jazz influences. Billie Holiday has been mentioned, and her first album came out in 2007. This is the 6th offering from her, and it's a sort of mix really of jazz rock, blues, and that rockabilly style, and it was okay. A few soaring guitar built into certain tracks. There's a country gospel feel to one of them. It sounded a little bit like Pretenders when it gets a little bit more rock rhythmy. And there's also a soulful ballad. She's joined on one track by Noel Gallagher, who sings a duet with her, and Ron Wood, who is playing the guitar. This is much more a bluesy type song. So anyway, I'd suggest you get to listen to her. Her name is Imelda May, and her latest album is 11 Past the Hour. Well, there are a few others, but I haven't got around to listening to them yet. What I will conclude is that new albums are out there and they are quality. We must not get sucked into nostalgia 24/7 every day of the year. Although those albums, of course, are priceless in our memory banks, there's plenty of new stuff out there that has the talent to increase our repertoire of music that we like. So I really suggest that you check out some of this stuff, and I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll be doing another one in a few weeks' time.